you don't want to take real long flakes at the start here, or you just shear off the opposite edge. And I'm trying to get my ridges going in a oblique direction, which is the style that I'm going to be flaking at this time. Sometimes I'll drive them straight in, other times I'll do parallel oblique. Okay, we're right here. Now what I'll do, this is a little bit different probably than what you've seen other nappers do, but it works for me. I'll take a short flake just out. When I'm doing this, I'm pressing out. I'm not pressing in on these short flakes. I'm straightening that ridge right there. I hope you can see that, so that I have a nice ridge to follow. Remember, the flake scar was elliptical, and I'm just straightening that part of the ridge so that it's more straight and doesn't have any ellipse, and that allows the next flake to travel a little bit further. You'll see what I mean here. That went about 2/3 of the way across, but you get the idea there. Okay, we're going to proceed right on down the edge here, and I'll give you a different edge, a different angle here in a minute, so you can get a better idea. I'm pushing in, building up pressure, and then out when I want it to release. That one didn't go, it went to about here. Now I got to straighten that ridge again. If I didn't do that, it's going to be really hard to release. Basically, what this is doing is it's isolating the platform, similar to percussion flaking, but I'm just doing it on one side of the platform. I'm not doing it on both. Now I've got a straighter ridge. I can just follow that ridge, line my Ishi stick up with it, push toward my back, toward my finger on the back face. Now, because this is the first pass, these flakes aren't all nice and parallel, but the second pass they would really start to take on a regularity, nice and parallel. And you kind of adjust things as you go. Where there's a valley, you don't go as deep, and where there's a ridge like there is here, you want to push a little bit further. I think you can see that area right in there. So this needs to be a pretty massive flake. I need to take a couple of flakes in between there, a couple of short flakes to straighten that out. This one I know from this hump right here. In fact, this is the spot, I believe. Yeah, when I was doing the percussion video, I said it was giving me a lot of trouble. There's a rise. Can you see that? Right up to this point right here, a little bit of a convexity right there. I really need to grind that and push pretty hard in order to get past it. And I'll switch to the bigger Ishi stick also. Okay. Hopefully we can get underneath that thing. I think we can. I'm putting it way back on the back side of the platform so we'll have a nice thick flake. Okay, that did pretty good. We've still got a little bit of an area in here. I'm not sure if I can get that or not. Let's see. Sometime what I'll do on those is come over here, really space it out. You really got to be ground good, because I'm going to have to put a lot of pressure on there in order to undercut that. And I've got to run it pretty deep. Mighty hot out here today, in the mid-80s. It doesn't help being in the direct sun, but I'll go to the bigger pad as well, I think. Okay, we undercut all that mess, and the flake went right over to here. Okay, now we'll run one off in here. These are fairly large pressure flakes. Ordinarily I would finish it up with a second set, like I said. There's a little bit of a something in there, and I don't think I can undercut it because there's actually a minor step that went under here and it would probably terminate. So I'm not gonna try for it. I don't want to mess it up. It would look worse. So I'll just not drive it as far on this one. Okay, you get the idea. Okay, I'm gonna try and zoom you in here. Okay, we'll try this angle. I've got it on telephoto a little bit. Maybe it'll give you a better idea. Here we go. I'll just take off a series of 3 or 4, and short flake here, line everything up. Put my pressure flaker on there. Short flake, straighten that ridge, get it lined up. Just continuing on to the base, and then I'll flip it over and do the opposite edge on this face, and I'll give you a different angle to show you a little bit more about how the Ishi stick is used. You really can't see it from one edge angle alone, but you get the idea here. You can see how these flakes are going, and we get it over in here. I'm working backwards, you notice. If you're angling it, you want to work backwards. That's the way the old boys did it too, and it's definitely more efficient. It's just the whole geometry of the thing that works out best, I can guarantee you. I know some people say it doesn't matter, and it doesn't so long as you're driving the flake straight in, but as soon as you start to angle these flakes at an angle across here like that, then it does become important as to which direction you're removing your series of flakes. So I'm working from tip to base, then I'm going to work from base to tip, always working backwards like this, if that makes sense. Okay, that's not ground quite enough. There's a lot of mass in here, so I need to go fairly deep. It's still not ground enough. I'm going to take that off the telephoto, back it up a little bit. Oh, okay. Okay, hopefully you can see that there, what we've done. Now we're going to come over here, braid this, and start driving flakes off over that. This is a pretty wide biface, so they may not entirely meet. Some of them will, where the flakes went halfway and further, but I'm going to braid it, and I'll be right back. Okay, I moved the camera a little bit to give you another idea. Another perspective. Again, we're working this edge right here, moving a series off over here. There's a major flake, we straighten it out with a short flake.